Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a post on Instagram where someone is showing themselves riding a mobility scooter in the house, which sends the comments into complete hysteria. Some people say it's diabolical to use a mobility scooter in the house, while others claim this person wouldn't need a scooter if they lost the weight. We're also going to be taking a look at several bonus posts from this same creator, so be sure to stick around until the end. Before we proceed, please click the like button so that I may apply comb to mustache. Alright, here's the video causing all the controversy of this person riding a mobility scooter in the house.
My son wants to show you his Funko Pop collection, and you're gonna be nice about it.
Okay, so...
Okay.
First I have...
And then she slowly backs away in the scooter. That is very intimidating.
This tiny itty bitty one. It's Bonnie.
She was like, and you're gonna be nice about it. Just mean mugging you as she slowly backs up. Okay. I wasn't planning on being not nice.
From Five Nights at Freddy's, and I like it because it's not a real one, so it just kind of comes out like that. And then I have two from Beauty and the Beast, which is the musical I did my freshman year. I have one of Cogsworth, which is the character that I played, and then I have one of Lumiere, who I was pretty close to the person who played Lumiere.
Okay. These Funko Pops are cool, I guess. I don't know what's going on. Did you guys paint all of these cabinets yourself?
I have two Spider-Man ones. This one's specifically Venom, like half Venom and then half Eddie Brock. And then I also, this is my largest one I have. I have more at my dad's, but this is the largest one I have here, is the Sinister Six Spider-Man Amazon exclusive. And then the last two that I have are both Sonic, which is my favorite video game series. I have one of Shadow the Hedgehog. You may know from the live action films that came out. It's just him. It looks pretty cool. And then I also have one of Metal Sonic, who was the villain in the Sonic OVA movie from the 90s.
Thanks.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the video that's causing all the controversy, and the controversy is not coming from that young man showing us his Funko Pops. Very nice collection, by the way. A lot of people actually noticed his mother in the background riding a mobility scooter in the house, and they had a lot of interesting things to say about it. By the way, while I do think it is wild to ride a mobility scooter in the house, I do not endorse or support people going and making fun of this person or leaving them negative comments. I'm just reading these. This person says, what's the need for the mobility scooter? Let's see the replies. This person responds, they were in a car accident. Okay, so this person got in a car accident apparently, and that's why they need the mobility scooter. This person says, mobility scooter in the house is diabolical. I've seen mobility scooters in quite a few interesting places. I've seen them in the woods. Now I've seen them in the kitchen of our own house. There was a story I covered probably a couple years back now where somebody was riding a mobility scooter through the woods, which honestly I can dig, right? Who wants to walk? It is pretty wild to ride one in the house. Let's see some of the replies to the mobility scooter in the house is diabolical comment. This person says, I know, right? Here's the original poster, the person in the mobility scooter responding to that comment saying, it's called using a mobility device when you are disabled, and it's not diabolical, it's life-changing. For my scooter, I can paint, work, garden, cook, run a cooking show. My legs don't work the way they are meant to, so I scoot. It's not that complicated. You're just making assumptions about me because I am fat. Okay, so they say that they are disabled beyond their weight, and that's why they need the mobility scooter. This person says this is not the right app. Facebook or YouTube is more your speed. This person says you need to walk. This person asks, what's your disability? And then another random person in the comments responds to them by saying they were in a car accident and have a degenerative knee condition. Okay. This person says, hey kid, you seem fairly normal. Go outside and get some exercise. Don't end up in a mobility scooter. Okay. This person asks, why don't you just lose weight and ditch the scooter? Wilbo Swaggins says, I'm glad our taxes are being spent on Cheetos and Funko Pops. What else are we gonna spend it on? Healthcare? This person says, yikes, poor kid. This comment asks, why she wearing cat ears? Edgar Martinez says, rainbow cat ears tells you all you need to know about that household. Okay, I don't know about that. Here's a response from the Sun himself. Hey, it's the Sun here. While I obviously am aware of the hate comments, the ones engaging in my childish interests and asking questions and stuff have made me quite happy. So I'm going to be launching a mini-series on my YouTube channel, opening/showing off, reviewing my Funkos more in depth. My channel name is Fluffy Ender Pug, or at Professor Bird if you're typing out the URL, for anyone who wants to go over there. I also make gaming videos, lol. This person says, seems like a nice kid. This person says, crazy how literally just walking around the house would most likely improve her condition, but would rather spend money on a mobility chair. It is wild that a lot of people don't even walk at all when that very simple exercise could really help their health and make it so they wouldn't really need a scooter as time goes on. Like I've said in the past, the longer we go without walking and with just using the scooter and not using our own legs, the more we're going to be bound to the scooter. Exercising your legs is what makes them stronger and what makes you able to walk. So when you don't do that, you'll be able to walk even less as time goes on. Obviously, use it or lose it, you know? This person says, I was surprised to hear that they're going out of business. What, Funko Pops? This person asks, how much horsepower that puppy have? This person says, well, I see where my tax dollars go, shaking my head. This person is addressing a comment to the Sun, and it says, it's nice you have things like that, but I bet you would have more room for things if your mother exercised. Wouldn't need space for the mobility scooter or charger if she could walk on her own. There are 3 replies to that. Let's see. The original poster, the person in the mobility scooter, responds to this comment by saying, ha 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 ha, what? Like my scooter is taking up too much space for us to have cool stuff? I'm so confused. This person asks, when was the last time you walked? And then the original poster responds by saying, today, I am an ambulatory wheelchair user. Which, for those that don't know, means that you can actually walk, but you use the wheelchair for short distances. This person says, scooter in the house, and then a bunch of skulls. Alright, so as you can see, a lot of the comments are caught up on the fact that this person is using a mobility scooter in the house. At least one person brought up the fact that walking is good exercise that would help you not need the scooter as much in the future. I did see at least one other random person coming to their defense and saying that they were in a car accident, which is why they're using that scooter. I want to know if you have a scooter for in the house as well as outside of the house, because that would be gross if we scooted around out in society through the Walmart and all this different type of stuff, and then we took those same wheels into our house and rolled all around the house with it. That would be gross. That would be worse than wearing your shoes in the house. I don't wear shoes in the house. You're gonna wear your shoes in the Walmart bathroom and then walk all around your house with them? It's even worse with a scooter. So hopefully this is just your in the house scooter and it never leaves the house. That makes it sound like you're crazy rich. You have all of these different scooters for different occasions. Here's my in the house scooter. Here's the leaving the house scooter. How rich are you? Next. All right, in this post, I believe they're showing off their Halloween outfit.
So this is my zombie outfit.
Their zombie outfit.
Where's my hat? Yeah. I got a purse.
Okay, we're doing a 3-point turn to show off the outfit. I heard the scooter squeaking.
Got zombie on it and a little handprint on the back. I'm wearing a skirt and shirt from Torrid. Yeah. Zombie Day.
Zombie Day? Okay. It must be a movie or something that came out. I don't know.
So this is my zombie outfit. Here's my hat.
Okay, let's see what the comments have to say about this. The description reads, check out my hat and purse as I head to the ortho for shots. Yay! This person says the 3-point to show the purse goes crazy. That's what I said. She did like a 3-point turn right there. This person says, I just know she has a Nightmare Before Christmas tattoo somewhere. Okay. Is that a specific phenotype of person? You're like, I know your type. You're the type with a Nightmare Before Christmas tattoo. I've met people like you before. This person says, Instagram just be dropping me anywhere these days. Oh man, Instagram has been showing me some bangers lately too. By the way, you all need to follow me on Instagram immediately and go watch all of my reels. Go forth. Go on. This person says, I thought mobility scooters had a weight limit. Okay, well, I'm guessing different scooters have different limits. They do make scooters for larger individuals. This person says, I bet you there's snacks in that zombie bag. No, it's just zombie-related stuff, like blood and brains. That's what I keep in my zombie bag. This person asks, anyone else remember the first rule from Zombieland? Was it something about running? Like, like running from the zombies or something? Hold on, let's look at the replies. Cardio. Yes, cardio. Look, here's the original poster, the person in the scooter, and they're saying, LOL. So even they think that joke is funny. Alright, here's a supportive comment from Red Dough Guy. You're absolutely amazing, wrong version of your, and inspiring. May I ask what model of scooter you use? I am needing one badly, and I want one I can grow into. You want one you can grow into? Is this a troll comment, or you want a scooter that you can have that will accommodate you while you continue to get larger? Okay, let's look at some of the replies to that. This guy asks, what exactly is inspiring about this? This other person says basically what I said. You want to grow into a scooter? Is that a goal these days? This person asks, grow into it? That's what I said. Like, what do you mean by that? You're like, I plan on gaining a lot of weight after I get this scooter, so I need one that can accommodate that. I know that after I get this, I am going to continue to gain more and more and more weight. That's actually my goal. That's my personal goal. So, will this scooter be able to accommodate that? And then that person responds by saying, yes, as a plus-size person myself, it's good to see others not being afraid she themselves on the Instagram. You know what? I also think it's good to see others not being afraid she themselves on the Instagram as well. The Instagram. We sound very old when we say it that way. Have you guys been on the Instagram? They got a lot of cool stuff on that there Instagram. This person asks, OMG, did you make that bag? It is so cute. All right, there's another supportive comment. All right, so we had a mixed bag of comments on that post as well. A couple of comments were supportive, and a lot of comments were like, what the heck, the 3-point turn goes crazy, etc. I did notice the 3-point turn as well, and I also noticed in the first post when she was like, don't say anything mean to my son, then she slowly backed away from the camera like this, mean mugging it the whole time. You can do a lot of dramatic looks from a scooter, apparently. Alright, sorry. I got carried away dancing and crap. Like I always do. Alright, so what's going on? Hold on. Alright, so we're dancing, breaking it down. Alright, so that was some beautiful dancing. Me, not them, you idiot. Now let's take a look at the comments. This person asks, not being disrespectful, how does one allow themselves to get to this point? To the point of dancing? Well, I mean, really, you just gotta put the music on and then just start to feel it. Like, let the music into your heart and stuff like that. I'm sorry to sound like a cornball. Oh, you weren't talking about the dancing. Man, come on. A lot of these are pretty darn mean, and like I said before, I do not support that. I don't think people should go around making fun of people. This person says, man, the denial in your replies is so sad. I wish this wasn't normalized and any criticism labeled as hate. It would be for your own good. Okay, so that comment is saying that they've seen this person responding to a lot of people in the comments, and any sort of legitimate criticism just keeps getting labeled as hate. although there are a lot of mean, hateful comments. So this person says, maybe it's time to change something if you can't walk anymore. Are we actually dancing with the mobility scooter in this video? Alright, and here's a comment from the original poster, the person in the mobility scooter. Just a reminder that there is a real human being reading these horrific comments, and as you may be judging me for existing in my own body, I am judging you far worse for your hateful minds. Every single one of you who comments about how miserable I must be is genuinely projecting. Genuinely happy, healthy, and emotionally fulfilled people do not spend their free time making mean, lewd, and hateful comments to virtual strangers on the internet. You know, I've been saying that for years. I have said it before, and I will continue to say it. Do better. Okay, well, they do have a very good point that genuinely happy, healthy, and emotionally fulfilled people do not spend their free time making mean, lewd, or hateful comments in people's comment sections. Some of the comments were concerned like, yo, this seems like a bad idea and stuff like that, but the ones that are extra mean, like, oh my god, look at you. Yes, those people have a problem. And it's their problem, not your problem. When people go out of their way to be mean like that to you online, yes, they are the one with the problem. This person says, I'm really sorry about these comments. Don't let the trolls get to you, gorgeous. Okay, I've never seen gorgeous spelled like that. Gorjus. Okie doke. This person says this makes it so difficult for medical professionals to help when there is an emergency. Can't even move the person without special equipment. This person says we are not being hateful, it's more coming from concerned people. Yeah, some of them. Alright, so there we saw another mixed bag of comments. Some people were supportive, some people said a lot of mean stuff, and others were actually concerned. Next.
My parent is going to show you their tarot card collection, and you're gonna be nice about it.
You're gonna be nice about it. Comments. Do you hear that? Okay. We'll be reading the comments in just a moment, and we'll see if they respected his wishes.
Well, first I have these Cosmic Sea tarot cards. They're
Uh-oh, he just did this. Did you see that? He's got his eyes on us.
aliens. Very cool. Then I have this is the Wild Unknown tarot. These are awesome. And then their little brother deck. I got the pocket version. These are the Animal Spirit tarots.
Okay. I didn't know there were collectible tarot card sets.
Then we have, these are Arthur's. They're the mystical medleys. They're like old school cartoons. In the running for my favorite deck is the Tarot for You and Me. Yay.
For me. Yay.
And then I have the Ethereal Visions deck, which my spouse also has the French version of this deck.
So you guys like to sit around and give each other tarot card readings with all of these various themed decks? Babe, I want to change things up a little bit tonight. Give me a tarot reading with the Animal Spirit deck. That's the deck that I need to be read with today. I don't know anything about tarot. I'm just kidding. I do know that the T is silent. Tarot, eh? That's right.
I have a bunch of my other decks in France. This is my first deck. It's an Oracle deck.
Okay, why is it all big? Why are these all vastly different sizes? Like, are the cards inside that freaking big?
The artwork is by Brian Froud, so it's kind of like, you know.
By Brian Froud? What? No, I don't know who that is.
Labyrinth style. The Fairies Oracle. Then I have the Starseed Oracle.
Oh, the Starseeds. Don't get me started on the Starseeds. Lily looked all scared right there. Dogs must be so confused. They see me yelling at the TV, like, at various points throughout the day and punching the couch and all this type of stuff. Lily must be so confused. Like, I just went like this, ah! And then she looked over all terrified, like, what's happening? What is happening? I'm always, like, screaming at the TV, punching the couch, talking to people that aren't there and stuff. She must be so confused. She's like, what in the hell? That's why she comes up and just starts licking me, because she's scared. She's like, don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. That's right. I'm sorry. I don't mean to terrify dogs. But I do feel like sometimes when a dog comes up and starts licking you, it's because they're scared because you're so unhinged. Maybe not you guys. Maybe that's just a me thing. They're like trying to calm you down. They're like, take it easy, man. It's going to be okay. They're licking me to try to calm me because they're confused why I'm constantly going off the rails. They're like, what is wrong with you? Don't worry. It's going to be okay, Cynical.
I got these because they remind me of Arthur. And then I have the Bonfire Tarot, which our friend Monica has a deck just like this.
All right, Monica. Well done.
Thanks.
Okay, and in that video, they were showing us their tarot decks. Let's take a look at the comments. This person says, the scooter's creaking like the Mayflower. Like the Mayflower? What the heck? I'm imagining like coming over to America back in the day, being on a boat that's like squeaking as it goes through the water. This person says, nothing in that family runs. Because she said that that tarot deck was in the running for her favorite or whatever, I guess. This person asks, why do you use a scooter in the house? That was damn near impossible to say. Why do you use? 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 This person says, Christ is the way. What does that have to do with anything? Any excuse to say that, right? Like anything could be happening and you just pop in, you're like, Christ is the way, by the way. We could be talking about literally anything. You come in with that. Okay. This person says, this is the ideal American dream nuclear family. This person says, unsanitary to bring that scooter inside. That's what I said. That is what I said. If you ride that scooter out in society and through various stores and various gross surfaces and stuff like that, and then you take it in your house, that is gross. I said the same thing. You need to have a specialized scooter just for the house. Let's look at the replies and see if they respond. Somebody responds to that comment and says, have you heard of a mop? And then the original poster, the person in the scooter says, I'm so confused how a scooter is unsanitary. Because you rode it outside of the house, rode it on the Walmart bathroom floor, and various other gross, disgusting places out in society that people have walked on. And then we rode it all through our house. Like, this is 10 times worse than wearing shoes in your house. This person says, maybe try a salad and a water. Brandon asks, how does one acquire this build? This person says, you're literally damaging the kid's upbringing, and because you're big, people think they must accept it. Insane. This person says, having to ride a moped inside of your house because of how large you are is hilarious. It's not a moped, it's a mobility scooter. Okay, and we're gonna wrap up the video right there. As you can see, the comments are divided. One of those last comments brought up the point that I was bringing up, that it's gross to ride a scooter all through society and then bring it in your house and ride it all around inside the house. I was wondering if she had a separate scooter for outside and inside, and we can see from their response to that comment that they don't. So it's interesting to see how riding a mobility scooter in the house can have the internet in such an uproar and so divided. A lot of people said it's wild to ride a mobility scooter in the house, while some people were supportive, but what do you think? Leave a comment below. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.